So, guys, apparently, uh, future King William, current Prince of Wales, William, is targeting Lilibet and Archie for title removal as soon as he um, accedes to the throne. As soon as King Charles dies and William is coronated, he apparently plans to strip Archie, Lilibet, and Harry, and of course Meghan, of their royal titles, all apparently because of the Andrew scandal and how Andrew had to give up his titles and his daughters Eugenie and Beatrice are also sort of in the line of fire just because they went with their mother, Sarah Ferguson, to meet with Epstein to celebrate his release from prison for all of the very um, unsavory charges that had been leveled against Epstein. And apparently, Sarah Ferguson was very much his friend, and she was the first one there celebrating his release with her daughters, Eugenie and Beatrice. So people are actually calling for Eugenie and Beatrice to lose their princess titles, just like their father and mother lost their Duke of York and Duchess of York titles because of their connection to Epstein. And William, the current Prince of Wales, apparently, according to TATLER, I was reading TATLER magazine briefly this afternoon, and according to TATLER, William is very seriously considering removing the titles from little Lilibet and Archie as a way to sort of clean things up after the Andrew scandal. And of course, he also wants to remove the Duke of Sussex and Duchess of Sussex titles from non-working royals like Harry and Meghan, right? So that was in Tatler magazine, and it in fact was in a few other publications as well, because since the Andrew thing just blew up once again, because that's been blowing up and calming down, blowing up and calming down, blowing up and calming down. But in this recent blow up where Virginia Joffrey apparently wrote this memoir, so she, this sort of from the grave memoir, uh, detailing everything that Andrew did to her. And as a consequence of that and other sort of media media what's the word I would use? The media has been outing Andrew and Sarah quite a bit with a ton of emails. Wherever they have found those emails, I have no idea. All these emails that are very incriminating that connect Andrew and Sarah to Epstein. And that's why Andrew, because he says he doesn't want to be a distraction to the royal family, that's why he and Sarah gave up their titles. Okay. But I guess my question is why does William then turn around and unleash his wrath on little Lilibet and Archie, right? Why go after Archie and Lilibet's title to settle scores with Andrew? It just doesn't make any sense. It's like a reach, this reach into, just thin air. Like, let me just concoct something so that I can justify the change that I want to make to the monarchy. Because William apparently keeps talking about, he wants to change the monarchy and he wants to make all these changes. And, he should be careful. He's not the one who loses his royal title, right? Because we don't know. I mean, it certainly looks like he will be all powerful and omnipotent as king, and he can, exact his revenge against his brother for telling everybody how he beat him up and things like that behind the scenes. I mean, William is still obviously seething about that and has vowed allegedly has vowed that he will never speak to Harry again. But, to go after Lilibet and Archie's title and to just, be so relishing of it, even before he's king and oh, he's going to make all these changes and, using Andrew as a catalyst for, going after little Archie and Lilibet to me is so very I don't know. It's so lame, it's so very lame and petty. William is so petty. But he has to be careful. I mean, he may not even become monarch, because the way things are going right now, the British public could completely decide just forget the monarchy. Let's do away with the monarchy. We don't need them. They're not really doing anything. They're not pulling their weight. They're very expensive and they're just filled with scandals, and what are we getting from them? Whatever it is, it does not equate what it costs us to keep them in this position, right? And it's not like William is doing anything particularly impressive, as the Prince of Wales and certainly as the future king. He seems to not have a real cause to occupy himself with. He's always on holiday. And so to me, like with his cousins, the Beatrice and Eugenie and Andrew and Sarah and all that, it's all sort of the same thing, there's nothing there.